Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank you for coming today. My name is David Aaronson. I am the founder and CEO of REVS, which stands for Refuel EV Solutions. And before we get going, I'd like to thank Lindsay Wise, who has worked with me to put this together. And we're very appreciative of your time and hope to provide you some information. So I'm gonna move pretty quickly. I've been in the commercial real estate business for over 40 years. And my partner has been in the real estate apartment development business for over 35 years. And together, we are probably the most experienced people in the multifamily industry that are in the EV charging business. I started this business a couple years ago because I realized that multifamily properties are going to be able to provide infrastructure to their the refueling infrastructure to their residents who are going to be driving electric vehicles. How do I know they're going to be driving electric vehicles? Because in a mere 13 years, that's all that's going to be sold. So until then, it will be a pretty rapid adoption as more and more companies come out with more and more offerings. So about 6% of the cars in America are parked in multifamily properties. Many of y'all are starting to see them show up. And many of those people who are not seeing them show up, maybe because you don't have a charging station. Today, a lot of apartment renters will go to the internet first to see who has, if you drive an electric vehicle, who has charging stations on their property. And if you don't have that listed in the amenities on your website, they're not even going to consider you, because there are too many other properties now that offer EV charging on site. So for the property managers who say, well, we don't really know if we have any demand or not, it could be that you just don't know what you don't know because people are not contacting you. So I thought it would be a good idea to share some of the stuff I've learned in the last 2 years about how do you go about getting an EV charging station set up on your property. The very first thing is it depends on your property's ability to have extra electric infrastructure to host these charging stations. Most of the properties in America today do not have enough infrastructure to provide power to enough charging stations to meet the future demand. On the other hand, many of these properties, we are able to find a little bit of extra electrical capacity to host 2 to 4 charging stations. Those 2 to 4 charging stations will cover a number of different vehicles. They'll cover up to 40 different vehicles a month. For a lot of people that own properties today, putting up 2 to 4 charging stations is going to be absolutely adequate for a number of years. The other thing that we do is starting out. So you start out by finding out what electrical capacity you have. The next thing you do is you want to see if there are any financial incentives that are available. Many states and utility providers are providing grant money to assist in helping property owners put up these charging stations. And it can be anywhere from covering the cost of anywhere from 20% of your cost up to 100% of your cost. It just depends on the individual utility, the individual state, and the individual city. It just depends on what they're offering at the time. So how many charging stations does your property need? Well, having one is better than nothing, because at least that way you're able to check the box, and somebody will, when they're looking for a property, will be able to come and say, oh, well, I can get my EV charged at my apartment. So it doesn't rule you out for competing on that tenant. We generally think that one charging port can serve 10 cars a month. And the way we do that is we set it up to where people will charge just like they fill up their gas tanks. Most people fill up their gas tanks once a week, maybe sometimes, twice every 10 days. If you have the ability to charge your car at home, you'll do the same thing. I own an electric vehicle. I've got a charging station 5 feet from my car every night, and yet I do not fill it up every night. I fill it up every week, just like I did my gas car. So there's a lot that goes into deciding on what kind of charging station to pick out. There's different levels and different things that the software does. There are certain things that you need to be looking out for. For example, you want to make sure that your charging station is the most current charging station on the market from a software standpoint. You want to also make sure that you have the ability to adjust the charging rate for depending on the time of day that the user's going to charge their car. You want to make sure that there's an ability to program in a connection fee or a minimum use charge. And what that does is, if you set it up as with a connection fee of only $3 or a minimum fee of only $3, people will wait to charge when they need a significant charge. They won't come up and only need 5 minutes of charging and leave their car there all night. You also need to be aware of what the network and the processing fees are. All these suppliers out there have different processing fees, different network fees, and you need to understand that before you select a provider. From a hardware standpoint, the first thing we look to is we look to see what kind of circuitry the electrical infrastructure has. The standard circuitry is usually a 40, 60, or 100 amp circuit, and it depends on the circuitry as to what kind of charging station you will decide on. We are working with level 2 stations, and level 2 stations come in that work off of 40 amp circuits all the way up to 100 amp circuits. Some machines can work off of a 40 and 100, others can only work off of a 40. So it's important that you know what you're picking up. The other thing you'll notice is cable management. The photograph on the right shows what happens when you start to get usage. The users don't exactly wrap the cord up, and it's unsightly. It's a potential trip and fall hazard. So we advocate putting a cable management system in on your chargers. The last question is so you get the charger up, you have to ask your question: do you want to manage it, or do you want somebody else to manage it? Everyone asks me what's involved in management, and it's typical, not much as long as things are good. It's when the machine is broken or you have a question, then you wish you had somebody else to ask these questions to. Most of the vendors offer service after the sale. The only problem is getting in touch with them. Many times they're understaffed. It's just a function of where our economy is right now. The questions you need to ask if you're going to be putting up an EV charging station is, do you want to own them? Do you want somebody else to own them? Do you want to manage them? Do you want somebody else to manage them? And then a couple of other things that's really important. You have to realize that putting up 1 or 2 or 4 charging ports at a property today is a Band-Aid. You also need to understand that what is needed to put up additional EV chargers at that property. Many cases, it's working with the utility company to provide extra power. The last thing I'll say is, as far as the management of the stations go, for those on the call that own large national portfolios, think about what's going to happen over the next 10 years of those properties. If you own 100 properties, you may have immediate demand of 200 to 400 charging ports. Over time, that could grow to 1,000. for the large national owners, the question today is, how are you going to manage that? And it's really important to have a plan today, because the problem's just going to get bigger and bigger unless you come up with a plan today. Anyway, I promised to keep this to 15 minutes. It's open to questions. If anyone has a question, please feel free to speak up, or let me know what, or you can send a chat with the question.
Hi, so this is Barbara Myrick. How are you?
Fine. Hi, Barbara.
Hi. So my question is, so I have a property that has 272 units, and I do have some residents that already have electric cars. What is your suggestion on how many stations we should have at a property that size?
So 270 units, you probably have what, about 350 parking spaces?
Ish, yeah.
So look, I would advocate that you probably take the 35, multiply it by 90%, or the 350, multiply it by 90%, and then take 10% and round up to the nearest even digit.
Okay.
Okay. But
okay.
The problem you're going to face is your property doesn't have enough electricity to do that today. Okay. The way to start, and so many times we see people putting out RFPs and they're working on understanding the product that's available. But here's where they get stuck. They'll negotiate a great price there, but until you have an electrician out to your property to tell you the exact cost, they're putting just a number in there. Now it's an experience number, but every property is different, and you don't know if you have to run that conduit 20 feet or 100 feet. And while they can look at it and get an idea, they're not going to really know until they get an actual electrician out there. And we see a lot of times that the product, the product's bid down to a very low price. And then on the other hand, there's a catch-all for the electrician, and it's higher than what you're going to spend. So you end up robbing Peter to pay Paul, if you understand what I'm saying, Barbara.
Yes. Yep.
But it's really all dependent on your existing electrical setup, how many stations you can get up today.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the question. Anybody else have any questions? Well, I guess I did a good job. I want to thank everybody for coming. We have recorded this, and we're going to be doing these on a regular basis. We'll have one next month, and hopefully it'll be on a topic that interests you. But I want to thank everybody for attending today's webinar. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email on, you can go to our website, www.refuelevs.com, and shoot me an email, and I'll be able to get back to you quickly. Thanks, and have a good day.